So this is the Brompton Cemetery in London, the London area here. So the architect of this cemetery was Benjamin Baud. This area was really all just kind of flatland fields. So he designed all these long buildings and the mausoleum, the round building. It really gave it some body, some notoriety in a visual sense. And looking this cemetery up, I read that it originally closed to burials in 1952, but it is now reopened in certain sections. You can see very old tombstones here, and then come across one that's quite new. But originally this cemetery was known as the West London and Westminster Cemetery, and it was established in 1840 as the 6th of the 7 magnificent cemeteries. So that's one of the big mausoleums you can see through the bushes. Whoa, look at that.
Are they actually buried like in that, or
well,
below?
I think they're buried in it.
I think this is somebody.
All right, so here's some interesting trivia for you. This is the tomb of a woman named Hannah Cortoy. She died in 1849. So she's buried in here. This is a massive tomb. There's no key. There's no way to get inside this thing. I don't think anyone has been in this for 100 years. That's what people say. And she's interred in here with her 3 daughters. And I don't know. At least that's what people say. There is no key for this. I guess you could just blast it open, but it's not something that people want to do. There are people who believe that there is a time machine that is locked inside here. I don't know. If you've ever seen that show, The Land of the Lost, it kind of reminds me of The Land of the Lost, because if you remember, the doors would just open, or the stone doors would just open up. It has a very strange look to it. She was a pretty wealthy woman. I don't know what that would have costed back then, but I mean, this thing is probably 18 feet, 17, 18 feet tall, something like that. So coming up to what is known as the Arcade Quadrant. These kind of like quarter circle sections here. I don't really know what they are. I don't really know what they do, or what they're for, what their purpose is, but this is what it looks like. Interestingly enough, there are catacombs under here, and you can tour them, but it's only the third Sunday of the month and I missed it. But I guess this is the entrance to it, or to them. Here, I'll take you down there. Wow, snakes. Trying to get a view here. It's not allowing me to focus into here. Come on. There you go. Very old. Not much information, actually no information at all about it. So that's a baby casket. Oh man, come on. I should have used my other camera because I would have been all the focus. That's a baby casket, a small casket. These are legitimate caskets too. I mean, you can see all the way back there. I mean, they're old. I mean, these are all 1850s. I think this one up here says 1854, I believe. Focus, come on. Yeah, July 1854. Yeah, there's where my fat finger is. That's the little casket. Unbelievable. Down here, each one has stairs that go down. They're considered the catacombs. I was picturing like a longer, like an underground mausoleum almost or something, but they all have this, cool looking set of doors. And, oh wow, all different. There's like actually power down here, electrical. So yeah, you can definitely, I think once a month they open this up so you can actually go in and see these, but I wasn't here at the right time, so it ain't happening. Yeah, this one looks like it got wet. This one has had a water problem. So they encased this with plastic. Yeah, so it's impossible to show you on the camera, but it goes off to the left here. So it is really like oh, and to the right? Yeah, so this one goes off to the left and to the right. The other one did not. Unfortunately, I cannot get in there to show you. But so these are legitimately the catacombs. Before the construction was finished, the government came in and sold all of these plots. And that's why it's so jammed in here. These graves are so jammed in and close to each other. There's so many in here. But that was not the original intent. Got to leave it to the government. Jeez, look at that. There's a good shot for you. Boom. So we can zoom in here. Kind of a low light situation here, but all right, here's number 4. I know it's not possible, but there's a part of me where I'm thinking maybe one of these will be open. But they're locked up pretty good. Let me see if I can read that one. It's hard to read. So this is an actual bell here. Do you think they left that in case one of them wakes up and forgets to Look at this. This is a bell. Never seen this before in a cemetery. I look for the resurrection of the dead. I don't know if this is, let's see here. Harriet, the loving and cherished wife of Lieutenant General Freeth K.H. So I don't know. I don't know if they're both buried here, but then there's an Eliza Freeth. Oh, there's actually a second part. It continues on. And the life of the world to come. Amen. Something that I just read about this cemetery that I think is fascinating. If you know who Beatrix Potter is, she was the author of a lot of children's books. She lived in this area back then, and she used to come to this cemetery, just spend time in here, possibly even writing her stories in here, and got a lot of inspiration from here. In fact, I'm not going to be able to find them out of the hundreds of thousands, possibly, of people who are buried here, but there are some well-known character names that came from here, such as Peter Rabbit, Mr. Nutkin, and Mr. McGregor. They were popular children's books. I don't know that she's buried here. I don't know. There was nothing about it, but she certainly enjoyed spending her time here. Life-size lion on top of this. This guy was a bare-knuckle boxer way back in the 1800s. John Jackson died in 1845. What was this? Was there something? I don't know if there was something up there. There are areas of the cemetery that they keep up with. I'm not really sure why the majority of the cemetery is overgrown, but you can see that there are some well-kept areas for the for the dead, as well as some of the living, as you can see by all these crows. This area is a little better kept and has some strange graves. Looks like a tub to me. I don't know. You tell me if you know what this was, or is supposed to be. In loving memory of Val C. Princip, died 1904. So there are some notable graves here, but they're kind of hard to find. But this one, Kit Lambert, died in 1981. He discovered and managed the rock group The Who. Like I said, he died in 81. He died of a brain hemorrhage after falling down a flight of stairs in his mother's London home. So just another tour of one of London's beautiful cemeteries, actually. This is Brompton. Amazing place. I love walking around at these old cemeteries. I'm not sure why they don't really keep them up, but maybe it's, I don't know. To me, it adds so much charm and personality. But anyway, all right. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video.